What's this doing here? Good evening, everyone. Well, it's afternoon now. Open to my computer. Good afternoon again. Let us begin. My name is Donesha Johnson, Managing Director and owner of Loud Fashion. Let me give you a small history about my business. Loud Fashion started in September of 2011, right, as a sole trader. We started as a sole trader, well, myself started as a sole trader. Over about a 6 years period, the business have grown. The business have grown to an extent where we had to, and to formalize the business, we changed our business structure from being a sole trader to a limited company, right? Since the get-go, right, well, I'm not going to take all the credit as to the success of the business. I will give some credits to my father, Devon Oaks. Devon is not my biological father. However, he's been in my life since I was age 15. When I started my business, I used to call him every day. I don't call people and call friend and gal and whatever. I used to call Devon and I said to him, what do you think about this? He guides me. He has several levels of managerial experience. And as such, he's my mentor, he's my guide. He is my everything. Business, personal, everything. He is my go-to person, right? So with the whole development and growth of the business, he is involved in that, right? So I'll give him credit for that. Back to our organizational structure. Loud Fashion was incorporated in December 2017, right? In order to start. The year 2018 is on a good start. Year 2018 as a limited company. In my organization, I have managing director, which is myself, right? For persons on the live who don't know or who knows, you can research who is a managing director. It is the same as a CEO, but I prefer to call myself managing director. I could have called myself president. I could have called myself whatever I want to call myself. But in this case, I call myself managing director. You have the managing director. You have 2 directors, right? And I also have supervisors and I have regular line staff. To incorporate a company, it cannot be a one-person thing. It has to be 2 directors at least. In my case, we have 3 directors. I have myself plus 2 other persons. I'm also the company secretary. So let me just make that clear. Loud Fashion over the years have employed several persons. Several persons come and go outside of this company. We have never felt the need to make such actions like what we did recently. We've made that particular action, right? Because we see the need to protect our brand, protect our reputation, protect our company, and to hinder our company from having any misrepresentation, right? Our former employee, not only was she employed to us. She was employed to us in a managerial position. That means she has some form of authority to do certain things, right? She's been with the company for about 6 weeks. Remember, 6 weeks. We have employees who are here from 6 years. We have employee who is here now that have been here from 8 years ago, right? We don't have a high turnover rate in staff. I would say we don't. Over the past couple of years, as I mentioned before, we have staff who come in and who come out and nobody knows about them. In this particular circumstance, there was dishonesty that was happening within the company, right? Fraudulent activities with colleagues, with person that I know who have come to me in confinement to say, hey, this is what's happening, right? I asked this girl to do something for me and she did the opposite, and we and her had an argument and stuff. I am not getting into that. It's at a popular hotel and she and persons got into big fuss over what was to be done from what wasn't done. She booking hotel for them and etc., right? So I won't get into that. So with all our evidence, and we don't do what's the word? We don't do assumptions, right? If it was for assumption, our former employee would not have been with the company beyond 1 day. And I repeat, beyond 1 day. The first day she started, well, the first day she was supposed to start at about 2 p.m. Like, she was supposed to start 10 minutes to 10. And I got a report that she haven't turned up for work as yet. Up to about after 2 p.m. I've asked the supervisor to call to find out where she was, and because things might happen and we don't know what happened, mark you. So we called and she said, oh, I was planning on coming later on, because I didn't know that I was to start today. I thought I was supposed to drop off my documents. I said, okay then. And I said, that's bad news. Right? Afterwards, we have several instances of her wearing stuff. For example, this ring, right? A ring. When she came to our Kingston store to work, one afternoon I came into work and I saw her with a pack of mini rings on. And I said to her, what are you doing with those rings? And she said, oh, yes, so no. And I was like, no, I'm serious. Did you buy those stuff? Did you credit them? What is it? And so forth. She said that she was talking to our GM about it, that she loves them and blah, blah, blah. And he kind of said that, okay, but he did not approve her to take them. He was just listening to her story, because for persons who know her, she always has a story. And it is just so unbelievable. It is so unbelievable how many persons buy into her story, right? That happened on Friday. The Saturday now, I came back and saw this ring on her finger, and I said to her, what's up with that ring? She said that she was showing a customer and then she just wearing the ring, and you know how much of them ring myself for a morning. And I said, really? Because I don't buy stories. I don't. It doesn't matter what is on the media. I have a mind of my own and I know what to believe from what not to believe. I don't buy stories. So I said to her, really? How much you buy? So I went around the corner. I went around the counter, sorry. And there was my cashier there. And I said to her, Shalene, how much of them ring you yourself for a morning? This ring, right? She said, me not sell none of them ring there. She said, tell her how much ring myself, whatever. So I checked the system. We have a system. I checked the system, and there was none of this particular ring was sold, but we had one that is similar. Because I said to her, I want to check the system, because if it is that you sell off all the rings, because she said, well, sell off all of the ring them. I said, wow, I'd have to give you one for promotion, right? Because she said she wear them in the store and she sell it off. So I'd have to give you one for promotion. Anyways, I checked and there was no ring. So there was several times of dishonesty, right? I called her and I speak to her. That's one incident. The next incident, she was leaving the store one Saturday night. She was leaving with a box of shoes. It was not yet on her account. It was on the counter. But she told me about the shoes. She was going to go to a funeral, and she said she wanted the shoes to wear to a funeral. When she leave in the store, she leave with the store with a box in her hand, and she left with a clutch on top of it. And first thing, the ring situation, she cried. And she said, oh, I don't know, I just want to do good. I just want to do good. And she cried. And I said to her, stop crying. Like, everything I talk to you about, you keep crying. You don't need to be crying. You just need to own up that you're wrong, right? Own up that you're wrong, and you will do better. And, you know, we have certain, you know, in my company, we have verbal warning, we have written warning, and we have termination. So it's like, I am talking to her verbally about these things. Fast track back to the bag situation. She had the bag carrying out of the store, and I said to her, why is it that you have this bag here on top of the shoes? I know about the shoes. She said, because downstairs in the store is only shoes and handbag. She said that she will she just passed the bag and saw the bag and take. So it's like she's doing things without even thinking, without, you know, like she's doing stuff without probable cause. And anyways, I don't want to get too much into certain things. So she was leaving with the bag, and I said to her, did the bag go on your account? She said no, she was planning to do it on Monday. I said, things don't run like this into this business place here now. Everything that is leaving the store, even myself, if I'm taking something, it has to go on my account. I have an account at the store, and it has to be placed on an account because we do inventory, right? Everything runs through a system, and whenever we want to find stuff, etc., we have to go back to the system to see when it was sold. It shows, my system shows what was sold, when it was sold, how many was sold for, the customer, right? Everything is in the system. She said she was planning to put it in the system on Monday. I talked to her about that again. We left, and we went on the road because she was in Kingston, and I was accommodating her. I take her out to have drinks, I take her out to have dinner. You know, I showed her a good time. Every day she pick her up from her location, take her for breakfast, or buy breakfast for her, she come to the store, etc. And we were building that relationship because she was supposed to be the face of our Montego Bay location. Being that I am not located in Montego Bay, we wanted somebody who is vibrant, who's energetic, but she was just too energetic for me, and it really throwed me off, and I keep questioning her character. So the same day when she took the bag, she started to cry, right? If we talk to her about anything, she started to cry. The first thing she does, cry. And I said, oh, I just want to do good. I don't want to look like I'm incompetent. I just want to do good. And I don't know why I keep making these stupid mistakes. Why did I take the bag? Why did I this? And she hugged me up, and it's okay. You know, she dramatic. And I said, it's okay. Mark you, now we are coming to question her character, right? And as such, she was being watched. She was being watched because, as I said, when we do our first verbal warning, then we get into the written warning and termination and etc. She was being watched. What hit the nail on the head for me is that about 3 weeks ago, I was made aware that she was blocked. A staff member of ours was blocked. The staff member was blocked, and I said, why though? You know, I took up my phone as the managing director for the company, and I searched for her. I was also blocked. I said, huh? Okay. I took up the company's Instagram page, and the company, Loud Fashion, that she works for, that she's still on her paycheck, on our payroll, that she works for, is also blocked. So I turned to the general manager and I brought it to his attention, because mark you, she doesn't report to me. When she said that she report to somebody overseas, that is true. She does not report to me. She report to our general manager. So all supervisors report to the general manager, and then the general manager reports to myself, right? So at that point I said, no, this is quite unusual, and that shows that this person has no good intentions, right? And this was she had no good intentions. All right, we have a supplier who we conduct business with. The supplier came here and he dropped off some stuff. He said he was going to Montego Bay, and I said to him, he asked me, do you want me to drop off these to Moby? You haven't even want me carry down there? And I said, okay, carry down these, right? He took them down there. That I don't know. She said that she met him before and they spoke before. Fine. But the thing is that it's a supplier of mine, right? She knows this. She's saying that she did not know. But anyways, I'm not here for that. I'm just trying to be as professional as possible and speak the facts. So the supplier went down there and she engaged him into having her to supply her. At this point, I did not know that she started to sell accessories. She took some stuff from him. Afterwards, I was made aware. Then I looked and I saw where she started doing this thing. Mark you, these are same items that are similar items. Well, same, because she took some stuff that we carried, and she also took some stuff that we did not have. And I'm saying, like, that's not the reason why we had to split ways. There are several staff here that up to today, right, not only is it conflict of interest, and that's a part of our company's policy, right? The company policy states that nothing that is that hinders you, like it's conflict of interest for you to be selling accessories, right, inside the store, because she had persons probably, well, I don't know, I didn't see that, but possibly is that she would have persons come to the store to buy stuff from her, etc. So she was also doing the same business that we're doing. She engaged with our supplier. She blocked us from all social media platforms, and this is during her tendency at Loud Fashion. That was where I draw the line, right? And I went to Montego Bay one afternoon, first thing, to have a sit down talk with her, because probably she needs some guidance, she needs some advice. So I didn't want to just terminate her. And first thing, it wasn't me who would have terminated her. It was our GM, because she don't report to me, as she mentioned, but y'all just run with it a different way, because, hey, anyways. I went there, but I didn't realize that the store was about to close and she had to leave. She had an emergency, she said. So I said, I need to talk to you. And she said, I have an emergency, I had to leave. And that was a Thursday. The Friday, she said she was ill and she needed some time off. Well, she didn't tell me. That was reported to me that she was ill and she needed some time off, which was given. She was expected to return to work or given a call or something. I don't remember how the story go, because as I mentioned before, she doesn't report to me. So the afterwards, now with everything that is happening, I didn't get a chance to talk to her because she had to leave. She took time off from work because she was ill. She didn't show up the next day because for whatever reason. So we did not. So when she sent that message to say, I won't be at work tomorrow or today, and I set things in place, and I think that was a breaking point for our GM. That's why he responded to her to say, tender your resignation effective immediately. We no longer need a service, etc., etc. She and him talk about that. I'm just speaking on the overall company, because this company is my company, and I am protecting this company that I've worked so hard to build over the last 9 years. October we'll be celebrating 9 years. That's not chicken feed. All right, so back to, where was I? Yes, so that's when that was our last day. We suspected, but we don't act on suspicion, we act on facts. So we suspected that she was being dishonest, and as such we ran back camera footages, see what was happened. So the last day when she came, the Friday, right, was a day that she took items from the store that was not on her account. First thing, company policy states that whenever you want something on your account, line staff report to their supervisor about it. Supervisors will report to their manager, right? They can report to the GM, or they can report to me, because I'm a managing director. I am active on the floor. I am here managing the company as well. So she could have reported to me if she did not get to him. Nothing was reported. She took some items on her account, right? After carefully looking at the footages, there was a particular skirt set that was taken on the Monday. She tried something else and she placed it in the same bag, right? And then on the Friday, so she do it in stages. So unless you is watching carefully, you wouldn't have seen what was done, because she's smart. All right, so we found activities of her stealing, right? More than one. We have instances where she gave customer birthday discount. Customer, at the end of the day, remember, she would have had all activities during the day. At the end of the day, she would have cashed out a customer. The item, what I believe, was 11,500. I have footages, I have receipts. There's nothing that I would try to do to tarnish her reputation, right? All I did was to post to say she's no longer associated with the company, and that should have been it. There should not have been any other bad vibe or anything after that. She should have seen that, knowing that she did wrongs, and part her ways. That's all. I wasn't going to follow this up, right? But I want to let the public know that, hey, she's no longer associated with us. So if she solicits our customers, they know that they are not supporting Loud Fashion because she no longer associated with us, right? Fine. Back to, where was I? Anyways, I still get back to that. Oh, sorry, birthday club. I have a lot of things in my head, you know. The birthday club. So on a particular evening at 6:44 p.m., there was no customer in the store. She was checking off, and what she did was, the item was for $11,500. She cashed out this customer, right? Giving 30% off, which ended up to be $3,450 or $3,400 thereabout. It is clear as day. The time when she cashed out the customer, 6:44, no customer in the store. The time she print the receipt, no customer in the store. And if receipt shows 6:44 p.m., it shows that she took out the $3,400, or she took out monies out of the pan. She places on the table behind her, right? And when she leave, like she counted, she take out that. So she cashed out the customer, pretending to cash a customer for 30% off, and then she took that 30% for herself. She put it into her handbag, and then she left the store. That's facts. That's what we have on camera. Now, to address the camera footages cannot be edited. We cannot put her doing actions. I don't know how to, I've never seen that. But camera footage is camera footage. You cannot make it out to look as if somebody is doing something when they're actually not doing it. So we have those camera footages, and we will not post them. So anyone that's asking, we will not post them. They will be entered into evidence. The point is that I don't have a personal issue with our former employee. There's nothing personal. We have staff that come in and out of our store every day. No, not every day. Every year or every couple months, whatever. We have a part of what she's saying also is that I have an issue with her starting her business. That's far from the truth. Anybody knows me, in my DM on a daily basis, I give free business advice. Once I have the time, I will respond to you 2-3 a.m. because that's most of the time I don't really sleep much, right? For most time, if I'm up, I'm thinking, my brain is moving, and if I'm on Instagram, I would give free business advice whenever I get the chance to. I encourage people to do well. I encourage people, persons who are currently in business, if they call me and ask me a question, I will answer them, right? All my staff, well, 90% of my staff members currently are doing their side hustle. They're doing their own business, and I can name a few. Sharon, for example, she's selling her phone cases. I see she just started doing keyring. That has nothing to do with me. Once it is not affecting her work, right? She's not taking it into the store and putting it into our showcase. It is not affecting her job. I will not have a problem, right? Shanice is selling soap. She's selling panties. She come to me and she say, I have some soap. Watch her. Shanice, I get free promotion. Anyways, she's selling soap, she's selling panties, and she come to me. I buy panties from her and I give it to my nanny, right? I buy soap from her the other day and I give it to my mother. I support them. I encourage them. I mentor them. So it is just so strange that I'm looking to be the bad guy, right? And I'm not into this to say, oh, I'm explaining because I want to win, or no. I know that a small person cannot go up against a big organization, a company, and the company will win. And this is not a case of winning. I'm just clearing the air, right? And this is the first time and the last time that I'll ever do this. If you notice, people drag me through the dirt all the time, and I've never addressed it. On a personal level, I don't address it. I don't see the need to address it. I move on. I have a tunnel vision for greatness, and that's what I'm on. I move on, right? No, this is my company reputation that is at stake, because we are looking out to be not the brand that a lot of persons looking out to be questionable, and that's what I will not allow. Back to my staff members who are doing their own side hustle. We have Lani, who she's a stylist. She not stylist. She's seamstress, dressmaker, whatever. She makes clothing and sell from home. I'm just getting to understand that Leon is also selling cookie wash. We have a new staff in Montego Bay who is selling accessories from before she started. She showed me her Instagram page and it was well presentable, and she was selling accessories. And I said, okay, do you think once it is not you're not bringing your accessories into the store space to sell, right? If for example somebody orders something and you say, okay, you can pick it up. Well, you have to ask permission, Can pick it up in store, you ask permission. I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna try to that those small things doesn't matter to me. Once it is not affecting your work, when you're to be at work and you are selling your own thing and leaving my things behind, that's the problem. All right. Anybody at the business I'm gonna leave out? Yeah. So my staff members, they're all doing their own side hustle. Back to previous staff member. If everyone knows, most persons know Angel, right? Angel has been one of the best staff that I had. Best sales rep. She's an all-rounder. She's charming. Everybody loves Angel. Angel resigned via text message. Come. Oh, I'm sorry. Nicholas started to sell clothing. I'm so sorry, Nicholas. You see, you can come. Nicholas started to sell clothing recently.
Online store.
He started his daughter online store, right? And it's funny. Yes. He started his daughter online store. You think I'm gonna say, hey Nicholas, because you start your daughter online store? Remember, you know, as they get older, do you remember one time when if you have $2,000 that could have served we and it could have stretched and things that get harder, they're getting to become adults. He had an additional responsibility. To maintain a child is additional responsibility and expense before he actually like on his own, right? So if he might do a little side also, if he can make one extra $2,000 a week time or whatever it is, I don't have a problem. He's not bringing in his items in the store to sell, so fine, we don't have a problem. Back to Angel now. Angel resigned. I was overseas and Angel resigned via text message. I was in Miami coming to Jamaica and I saw the message and I was like, oh shit, what is this now? You know, and these are things that happen every day in business. Business is very hard, okay? Let me just tell you that much. I said, oh shit, Angel resigned. I came and she resigned like 2 days notice she gave me. Like she said, oh, I'm going to resign on Monday, for example. I'm going to resign on Tuesday, whatever. And I said, oh shit, what is this? She had personal reasons, as well as she and an employee of mine had a fallout, and you know, she just think that this is it and blah blah blah. And when I came back the Friday evening, I didn't come to work until the Saturday morning. I took her in the office and I said, Angel, what's happening with you and stuff? And you know, she started to cry and she started to explain and said, you know, this is what is happening and she just wants to be gone and stuff. And I said, okay, I understand, because once somebody, for me personally, anyone that gives me a resignation, I accept it. I accept your resignation. Like Ranny Williams, he was great. I don't want to stray too much, but when Ranny Williams was on his dying bed, you had Miss Louise came up after Ranny Williams died, right? And persons were sitting on his dying bed, Ranny, what we going to do? What we going to do? Cause you know? And he said the show must go on. That is the greatest man at the time was telling you that the show must go on. That means if somebody resigns, somebody leaves, somebody walk off, the show must go on. Nobody can stop. There's no one staff member who can stop Loud Fashion Show. It must go on, right? Angel, I said to her, all right, hear what you did, because your resignation wasn't properly done. Rewrite a resignation to state that you're gonna take your leave at this time. After you leave, then you resign, you know, so as to give the 14 days notice, to give the 14 days, the 2 weeks notice. And Angel and I part ways. If somebody come into the store, oh, she's no longer working here, well, not me, but you know, whatever, I will deal with it as it goes along. Why is it that we didn't post Angel? Why is it that this former employee of ours think that because she resigned, that is a big thing to us? No, sweetie, you're totally wrong, right? Somebody said, why is straight? Where was I? My brain is so confused. I have so much things to talk about. I don't know if I can talk about everything today. Likewise, Shelleen is no longer with us. Did we post Shelleen's photo? No. A lot of staff are no longer with us and we don't post it. So I'm very sane in my head, and as such, I would not have done what I've done without probably cause, without reasons. Would not have done so. Right? Our former employee was also on a she's been employed to us 6 weeks, so she was within our 30 days probationary period, at which any staff member can terminate any party, whether the company or herself can terminate without notice, right? And that's a part of our company's policy. The need that we had was because of the dishonesty that we've found, right? And as such, that's the only reason why we had posted to say that she's no longer associated with us, because we didn't want for persons to believe that she's conducting business on our behalf, and that should have just done there. Large companies Big corporation does that every day. In the Gleaner, everywhere that they can, they post that. So why is it an issue, such a big issue, if Loud Fashion does that? Right? Now, not every story that's in here we must jump on. Not every dog will ball out, that means somebody licking. You understand me? So because she's playing the victim and Loud Fashion is Loud Fashion, you guys are siding against the company, right? We have a lot of loyal and true supporters, and supporters who are not saying anything, because what is happening is that some people, they're not dumb enough. What is causing the problem is half dumb people and half smart people. They're not dumb enough to know to keep quiet, and they're not smart enough to know wrong from right, and that is what's causing the problem. Not totally dumb and totally smart. That is what is causing the problem. Yes, so I think I have addressed most of what I needed to address, right? Loud Fashion Company Limited is about to open its third location. Now we started at 90 square feet space, and with our third location we're going to be operating at 6,200 square feet space. Myself alone cannot manage that workload. Hence we have directors and general managers and supervisors that are in place so that I can use my hands and brains to do other things, right? We did not do this for the clout. We did not do this for any reason. We just did it to protect our brand, and that's what I am doing. Our brand and my reputation is what is being at stake here, and that's what we did to protect it. I will answer a few questions, as I think I have majority of what I needed to covered, right? Okay, so what are the questions? Okay, she reports to the person overseas because he's the general manager. He resides overseas. He's the general manager. All supervisor reports to the general manager who resides overseas, not myself. From she's been in the company, the most that we've communicated was when she's in Kingston, because we were working in the same space. Apart from that, I don't talk to her on a day-to-day basis. The general manager is the one who speaks to her, and then she will report to myself. Yes, I'm hiring at Montego Bay. We need a store clerk or supervisor position has been filled. Who owns Loud Fashion is me, myself, and I, Donesha Johnson. Police had to go for her because we showed evidence of her stealing in the store, right? And she was released because somebody asked why police go for her and why did she leave, and she left because she got bail. Donesha Johnson owns the company. I am the everything of the company. I'm the managing director, and you can Google. A managing director is just as same as the CEO. I'm trying to see in the questions, and I am blocking out the negativity. Trust me. I am trying to be as professional as possible. I wasn't laughing when she was arrested. Why do you think I was laughing? Why aren't I the CEO? Okay, so from day one, I've never chose to call myself CEO. One, I think managing director was more fitting for me. The business is growing, and whenever I hire a managing director, when I promote one of my directors as managing director, and that's when I will be called CEO if I choose, or president. I don't think I like CEO anyways. I don't like that word. Yeah, so as it is now, we have a managing director, which is myself. We have 2 other directors. One director is in charge of our day-to-day operation. He's the general manager, right? He is in charge of he's in charge of the day-to-day runnings. He resides overseas, but that doesn't mean you cannot operate a business. You can operate remotely, and that's where I want to take this business, where I can be at home, I can be on vacation, I can be wherever, and the business is being operated remotely. So he's overseas. In the morning, the supervisors report to him first thing to get their running order of the day, etc., and then they take it from there. I don't get involved in the supervisor and the manager issue, or I don't get into their day-to-day basis activities unless I need to. If there's something that needs my attention, they would bring it to me, but they report to him. They don't report to me. No, the next director is in charge of human resource and accounting and company policies and guidelines. That is his specialty. So one person is responsible for this, and the other person is responsible for managing the operation. I will not speak any further about the footages. We now have a court matter, and that will be settled in court, okay? Any other questions you guys want to ask before I end this live? No, she have never been threatened. She wasn't threatened. Alright, so let me just, because I say, let me just do one call. Alright, so one of the comments said that she said that she was sent home because she called a staff member. Alright, I don't know if that is true, because I have not spoken to that staff member today. She's off today. So when she get back in tomorrow, I'll speak to her on my clock. But either way, you cannot leave items. You cannot leave the company, the store, with items that are not on your account, that is in a bag. You did not get a receipt for the item, right? You did not put the item on an account to say that you will pay for it at a later date. I offer that service. My staff, sometimes them tell me if I take $500 and then pay $1,000. Sometimes them say, not take the money this week. I am not hard and fast on, oh, hey, you have to pay for this, you have to pay for that. I give them leverage. I give them time to pay for stuff at their own leisure, right? To avoid things like these. I know which staff she called because she texted me yesterday. She texted me last night, and up to 3 a.m. she kept texting and calling me. I tell you something. Our former employee needs a little bit of help, okay? If it wasn't in the system, it can be added. It takes nothing for an item to be added. I'm not sure if it wasn't not in the system, but if it wasn't in the system, just like a customer who comes to the store and say, hey, I want this item, and for whatever reason the style number is incorrect or it's not added in the system, we add it. Same time, that could have to be done in her case. I'm looking for some other questions. Who have serious questions, I will answer them. And as I said, I am not on here to defame anyone's character. I'm here to defend my company, my business that I've worked so hard to build. Which answer did you ask, Dime Piece? What did their dream ask? Let me scroll up. Because
he asked to stay an additional month.
Why was she asked to stay an additional month? Where that's what she asked? Okay. So when she resigned in a message, an email, a one line email to say, I am not fit for this job and I will be resigning. Okay? She didn't state when, where, and how. Our GM asked her to give us until the end of September because we needed someone to replace her. During she stayed, I don't know if it's because she resigned, right? Why she felt the need to be doing dishonest things because she knows she's going to be leaving anyways. But it just kept becoming more and more obvious that, hey, this person has bad intentions. So because she left, he asked her not to come back before the month end. I think she left on the 11th and she was supposed to work until the 30th of September, right? She was supposed to work until the 30th. She left on the 11th because he asked her not to return to work. Tender a resignation effective immediately. And like a lot of companies, they don't necessarily fire you. They will ask you to resign immediately. And that is word that I am receiving. But this is assumption from her previous employer that they had asked her to resign immediately based on dishonesty and things that she was doing before. I've gotten several phone calls, persons saying to me they wish they had said something to me before because, and this is her pattern. Sorry, somebody call me. That this is her pattern and all of that, right? So she has a history of doing dishonest things. I'm looking at some other question. Where the question? You are showing me, you know that I'm not seeing their dream comments on my phone. Look like I block them. I not see them. Let me see what them say. I not see.
Resignation.
Their dream, I can't see no comments with them now. Some of them. Let me see what they say. I block them. I don't need them the energy there. So you found about her character after she resigned. No. Before she resigned, she was getting under a lot of pressure because, as I said, from her first day, I know there have been instances, and I spoke about them before. I will save the live. You go back and watch the live afterwards, right? But we had issues with her, allegations, well, allegedly, things that she been doing, and I've had issues with her. So she was being watched. Now, because she's been watched, she came under a lot of pressure. And as I mentioned before, her resignation states that I am not fit for this job and as such I'll be resigning. That is how she resigned. When her picture was posted, a lot of persons calling and saying, they should have said something. Persons know her. And the funny thing about it is that even though the comments might look a lot and, the excitement is minority, Those are the minority of persons who actually believe her story. you know. No. What daydream comment anything else? Can I can't see them over here, so.
She said bad energy.
Eh?
So yes, I said my bad energy.
No, them a bad energy for sure. Me know you do them something there. Okay, fake pages. So the fake pages can comment all they want to. Alright guys, so I think that's it for me. What are you not following? I think that's it for me. Did I cover everything that I wanted to cover? I made a few pointers. Alright, so pretty much I came on here today to just clear the air. And this will be my only attempt to sing there. Alright guys, thank you so much. It was nice talking to you guys, to you all. That's it from me. Thank you so much for the love and support from my true supporters. I thank you for always supporting Loud Fashion. Our Ocherius location will be opening soon, and I am really appreciative of the support over the years. I thank you.